You know what happened in Maui, right? Turns out they want to blame it on climate change. That fire was not from climate change. There's lots of people saying, now I'm going to interview someone next week, a resident who was there, who said that they were pretty sure they saw somebody out setting fires. We don't know. We have to look into it.
Okay, that grass, by the way, that caught fire, that's not indigenous to the island, that is, very dry and it's dangerous, invasive species of grass, but nothing was done about. You've been to Hawaii, right?
Yeah.
They've checked you out for stuff like you went to space.
Right.
So you're not bringing anything in that
That's
don't
right.
belong on the island.
That's right.
But none of the rich people that run that island were worried about this invasive dry grass that could cause fires.
So it turns out that so they did request water to be used to put out that fire, and the state officials refused to send water to them because they're conserving it. You think I'm making this up?
I saw the clip of the guy. The water is sacred and it's God. Actual native Hawaiians don't count as much as God water.
As God water. With wildfires ravaging West Maui on August 8th, a state official delayed the release of water that landowners wanted to help protect their property from fires. Their water standoff played out over much of the day, and the water didn't come until it was too late. The dispute involved the Department of Land and Natural Resources Water Resource Management Division and West Maui Land Company, which manages agricultural and residential subdivisions in West Maui. DLNR delayed releasing water requested by who? By the West Maui Land Company to help prevent the spread of the fire. They denied them. This says delayed. Justice delayed is justice denied. So when you deny them water, you delayed them water, you're denying it to them.
What do you mean delayed? When everything burned down, you're like, all right, here's some water.
All right, here's some water.
Did they arrest people giving out water or take the water away?
Yep.
When did they get water? When did that happen?
You tell me.
So you have to go swim in it while their houses burned?
So specifically, according to accounts of 4 people with knowledge of the situation, Kaleo Manuel, a native Hawaiian cultural practitioner and DLNR's deputy director for water resource management. I'm going to show you a video of that guy in a second. So this guy, there's a guy who's the deputy director. He said no. He said no to West Maui when they requested water to help prevent the fire from spreading to properties managed by the company. Ooh. He said no.
Somebody's going to be nominated for a heck of a job brownie award.
He said no. According to the sources, Manuel wanted West Maui land to get permission from Taro or Kalo farm located downstream from the company's property.
What? Why?
What? Manuel eventually released the water, but not until after the fire had spread. It was not clear on Monday how much damage the fire did in the interim or whether homes were damaged. You want to see this guy?
Yeah, he's great.
So this is this guy. This is where he's talking about land. So this was not in relation to the fire, but this is what he said earlier to the fire.
This is his views where you could see what he had to weigh more than the lives of other native Hawaiians.
Watch this. This is how this guy thinks. Watch.
Is responsible per our authorizing statute to protect and manage all water resources in the state. One Water is like taking it and looking at it from a holistic system perspective, and that's not any different than how Hawaiians traditionally managed water. In essence, Native Hawaiians treated water as one of the earthly manifestations of a god and a kua kane. And so that reverence for a resource and that reciprocity in relationship was something that was really, really important to our worldview and well-being, right? And living in an island, isolated from other, civilizations. And so I think where it shifted to today or over time is that we've become used to looking at water as like something which we use and not necessarily something that we revere as that thing that gives us life, right? I mean, to me, it's a shift in value set. And, if we can start to really look at how we as humans in an island can reconnect to that traditional value set. So really my motto is always like, let water connect us and not divide us. Like we can share it, but it requires true conversations about equity.
Okay.
Equity.
So, but everything he said, as goofy as it was, okay, you think that. Shouldn't you have given your people water to put out their fires
the fire?
and not die? It's life and it's God. You don't think anybody was praying to God?
So this is
water God for help?
This isn't climate change. This is people like that. This is people like this guy denying water to the people who wanted to fight a fire. He did that. That happened. This is also the people who are supposed to put on the sirens. They didn't put on the sirens. And then they even doubled down on that and said we shouldn't have turned the sirens on. And now the guy who said that is resigned today. So that's our next story.
You know,
so I don't know how this guy keeps his job, but maybe we'll see.
It's corrupt. Hawaii's fantastically corrupt.
But Hawaii's unbelievably corrupt.
I have no idea.
And I'm sure that guy has his job because of corruption.
Remember all those goofball Georgia state senate? We pranked one on Sasha Cohen's thing on Showtime that had I want to ban burqas here in Georgia. There's a huge burqa issue. And they're just local idiots whose families are connected and they get their dumb kids in these jobs because nobody knows what a state senator does. That's what Hawaii is 100 times over. And the idea they have they should, if they didn't, this isn't on purpose that this happened. This isn't a conspiracy to get land. Let's say it's not. Think about lying and saying it was, because if this is just all your screw ups, that's kind of worse. That's actually worse.
Right?
The depravity of putting someone that's stupid in charge, and this many horrible accidents just happened. You say you did it. At least then people have some faith in government.
It's not, that fire was not because of climate change. That was because of human negligence, if not human malfeasance.
If it's negligence, that's worse than if somebody paid somebody to get that land for them. That's worse.
Hey, come see us live on tour. We'll be in Salt Lake City, New York City, Pottstown, Pennsylvania, Stamford, Connecticut, Toledo, Detroit, St. Louis, Tampa, Boca Raton, and Orlando. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for all those tickets. See you there.